Hi, this is Mark Wallstrom, the host of the Settlement Channel, a featured presentation of the Legal Broadcast Network. Well, today we're continuing our series on structured attorney's fees or structured legal fees, whichever term you prefer, and profiling each of the different life insurance companies that offer these unique and powerful benefits for trial lawyers to defer income sometimes far into future years and to save a great deal of money on current taxation by doing so. The company we're profiling today is Allstate Financial and their Barbados subsidiary, Allstate International Assignments. Allstate is one of the original companies that does standalone structured legal fees. And by standalone, and we've defined that term in some of our other tutorials, but that means that it is not necessary for the plaintiff to structure in order for the attorney to structure. But the other thing that makes Allstate quite unique, and really one of the industry leaders in this area, is that they will do structured legal fees on what are known as non-qualified cases. In other words, cases that don't fall in the tax-free status of personal and physical injury under Section 104A2. In other words, this works for any taxable damage case where the attorney is looking to structure their fee. So it broadens and expands the universe of cases that you would otherwise not be able to do on cases with other companies. So first off, that's the most unique element of the Allstate program, is that they were the originators of this idea. They were the first company to do standalone, non-qualified structured legal fees. And they're still the industry leader based on all of my calculations and review of the market. But Allstate, like every other life insurance company out there, they have some unique underwriting elements and requirements that are different from, let's say, Liberty Life, which is the other company that does standalone, non-qualified structured legal fees. But the Allstate product has a lot to recommend it, and we're going to go into those right now. Well, the first thing that makes the Allstate product strong and unique in my mind is the financial rating and the reputation and integrity of a company like Allstate standing behind this deal. Allstate enjoys an A+ rating with AM Best, a AA- rating with Standard & Poor's. They're a strong, stable, multi-line company. They've obviously been around for years, the good hands people. And as I mentioned just a few moments ago, they were the originators of the non-qualified structured legal fee market. So they have a lot of expertise in this area. They have a lot of underwriting knowledge. They have a very experienced staff. And there's very few things they run into that they haven't seen. So in addition to getting a company that's very experienced in writing these structured attorney's fees and a wide variety of taxable and non-taxable damage cases, you also have the financial integrity and safety of the Allstate brand. I can just tell you personally, my firm has done quite a few cases with Allstate over the years, and really their customer service, their underwriting commitment, and their dedication to getting these things done and done right really is without peer. So great company, and definitely should be, at the top of your rotation when you look at structured legal fee cases. However, there's some things about the Allstate deal that are sometimes a little bit inhibiting, and we want to get into a few of those underwriting issues. The first thing is, like every other company, you do have to sign a hold harmless letter. They're not going to provide tax advice or tax counsel on these cases for you. But one of the things that makes them a little bit unique and different from a few of the other companies is that they will not do lifetime annuity payments on the attorney. They will do period certain, they will do lump sums, they'll do all of the other benefits, but they won't do a lifetime payment, and they also won't do a joint and survivor payment. So that's a little bit of a restriction, a little bit different from some of the other markets. Definitely something to keep in mind. If you're looking for those other benefits, then you're going to look at other companies. But for your standard period certain or lump sum case, Allstate certainly is, again, as I mentioned, at the top of the list. The other thing is that they also do allow you to make payments to a firm as long as the measuring life for the annuity is the specific attorney who is owed the fees. In other words, if you're a partner in a firm and you want the payments paid to the firm, they still have to have you as the attorney for the measuring life during the period of time that these payments are made. The other thing is they also don't allow referral fees to be assigned to Allstate International Assignments, which is their assignment company. And again, that gets into planning and working with a professional. If you're the referring attorney on the case and you're not the actual attorney that did the work, they're not going to structure those types of cases for you. So, document preparation, client engagement letters, all those things we've talked about in the other parts of this series. Very important to get this stuff done up front, work with a professional, and do your planning at the early stages of the case if you think you might want to structure. As we said before, you can put all this language into your fee engagement letters, you can contemplate it in the settlement agreement, but you're not committed to it until the case settles and you know exactly what you're getting and how you want to proceed on this. The other thing that's also important, and this is another one of these restrictions that they have that some of the other companies don't have, is that you do not have the right to change the beneficiary once the case is set. So once you name the beneficiary, and the beneficiary has to be the estate of the measuring life, it can't be a named person, it has to be the estate. That's what you've got. You can't change that from an estate planning standpoint. That can be a bit restrictive for some people. Other people, it's not an issue. But it's something that you have to keep in mind and that you have to consider when you're working with Allstate on these cases. The other thing, and we talked a little bit about settlement agreements and documents and the way that these things work, is you've got to have that language in the settlement agreement that we've talked about. It has to be clearly spelled out that the client is aware that the attorney is structuring their fees, that they're paying the fees as a convenience and at the request of the plaintiff in this fashion. The companies are getting really tight, and understandably so, about the type of language you have in these settlement agreements. So again, if you're an attorney, you're a tax planner, this is not stuff that can wait until the 11th hour and just be tacked on at the end of the case. This has to be included in the settlement agreement. You've got to have the right language, and some companies have one type of language they want, other companies have other verbiage and other terms that they want used. That's one of the reasons we're doing this series, is we want people to be aware that you've got to look at what each particular company wants. You have to look at the products that they underwrite, the terms that they underwrite under it, the beneficiary designations. There's a lot of different elements that go into this. So as we've talked about in every part of the series, you've got to work with a trained settlement professional who has all of these markets, who understands the nuances of this, and can match you up with the right company for your plan. Well, that's the end of our piece today on Allstate. Let me just summarize it quickly. It's a great company, great financials. They were the leaders in this area of structured attorney's fees. They're one of two markets that will do structured attorney's fees on both qualified and on non-qualified cases, and will do standalone attorney's fees. So they're very, very flexible on working on a wide variety of cases, but there are some restrictions in their program that you have to be aware of, that you have to work within, and that make working with a trained, experienced structured settlement professional who understands structured legal fees absolutely essential. I hope you're enjoying this series that we're doing on structured attorney's fees. If you have any questions on that, you can always contact me directly as well. My name's Mark Wallstrom. I'm the host here at the Settlement Channel. Thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you again next week.